Hello, Brave Nation. Yep, that's our new name. If you're brave enough to be healthy, then you are part of the Brave Nation. Now, I've got some information for you today. I'm going to talk about cortisol, breathing, and your emotions. Why would I do that? Because I want you to be healthy, not just during this pandemic, but always. So this is going to help you through this corona stuff to keep your immune system strong. But if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, if you have any digestion problems, maybe gastric ulcers or constipation, this is going to help you. This will help you with your health. Why? Because stress affects your health in a negative way when stress goes on for too long. Let me explain. Stress is very important when you're in a life or death situation. So, if you're being chased by a tiger, that's a good time to be stressed. And when you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol wants you to be able to run away from that tiger or fight the tiger and win. So it increases your blood pressure. It increases the amount of sugar circulating in your blood because sugar is fuel for your muscles. It shuts off your digestion. You don't need to digest lunch when there's a tiger chasing you. So that's important stuff when you're stressed. Unfortunately, we have a little problem with our brain. It doesn't know the difference between what's really going on, what we're thinking about's going on, or what we're watching. So if you're watching a scary TV show that's causing you to be stressed, you're releasing cortisol. It's affecting your blood pressure, your digestion, your blood sugar. So what I want to do is teach you to change your brain and focus on something, because the opposite of stress is relaxation and rest and love. So if you can change your thoughts and think about things you love and relax and breathe, then it's going to get rid of that cortisol, lower your blood pressure, lower your blood sugar, get your digestion working good, and everything else that makes you happy. So when you're feeling those feelings of love, that is rest and restore. That's what's going to keep you really healthy. If you could be, when you first fall in love with someone, if you could feel like that all the time, you would be healthy your whole life. So, how can we do this? I talked about the breathing the other day, the 6-4-8. You breathe in for 6, you hold it for 4, you breathe out for 8. And when you're breathing out, you sigh and you think of something you love, something that makes you happy. And remember, I told you to make a list, because when you're in a stressful situation, you may not be able to remember anything that makes you happy. So make a list of things you love. And because of that, I wore the shirt I love. Want to see? I love it. I love it. I know it's cheesy, but I love it. So have your list. Have it on your phone or written down somewhere where you can find it. So when you're in a stressful situation, you can think of something you love. I have this one story that's my go-to story that I absolutely love when I'm really stressed and I need to change those emotions and focus on something I love. I do my breathing exercises, and after I do the 6-4-8 with the sigh, then I just breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, and continue that and think of something that really makes me happy. So I want to share my story. It's a couple weeks after Easter, and this is an Easter story. My younger son, Kanaloa, one Easter, he was just a toddler, we were having an Easter egg hunt. So Nakoa's the older brother. I sent him to find the more difficult eggs and said, leave the ones on the ground for your brother. So Kanaloa would see an Easter egg and he'd get so excited. He's like, an Easter egg! And he'd pick it up. And I was holding the basket and he'd come put on the basket that I was holding on my arm. And after a couple of that, he came over and thought he wanted the basket. So I let him hold it. And the basket was kind of tapered. It didn't have the traditional 90-degree sides. It kind of had an angle. And so when he'd bend over to pick up an Easter egg, he'd drop 1 or 2 out of his basket. And what ended up happening is he was going in circles and he kept picking up the same eggs, putting it in the basket, picking up the egg. And he was excited every time, going, an Easter egg. So of course I was laughing so hard. I was leaning on my husband, almost crying. And we let it go on for a while, and I didn't want him getting angry, wondering where all the eggs he found were. So we finally showed him what was going on. But that's my story that really gets me laughing, makes me smile, makes me happy. So when I'm in a stressful situation and I don't need to get away from a tiger and I can calm down and relax, I think of that story. Of course, I have several stories, but that's just my go-to favorite. So please make your list of things you love. keep it close. And when you don't have to live in that stress, when you've watched the news, you know what you need to do, then switch it. Trigger some happy emotions, and that will reduce your blood pressure. It will reduce the amount of glucose in your blood. Glucose in your blood. It will get your digestion working properly. It'll decrease gastric ulcers. It'll decrease kidney stones. And that's how we can be healthy. So cortisol is important when you're going to get eaten by a tiger, but you don't need it for everyday life. So what we need to do is do something that will trigger positive emotions, and changing your breathing and thinking of something that really makes you happy and bathes you in those emotions of love will really get your health online. It'll get you through this pandemic, but it'll help you with all your other health issues. I'm putting together my course so we can all learn to be happy at any age. Happy and healthy is what I meant to say, at any age, and that will be coming to you soon. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my website at ColetteGazzetta.com, and if you're brave enough to be healthy, we'll enjoy this fun journey together.